Survivor. Now, if you're a classic car enthusiast, you've probably heard the word Survivor. If you haven't, you soon will, because the Survivor is fast becoming the holy grail in the classic car world. Now, why? Why would Survivor be the holy grail in the classic car world? Well, there are three reasons. First and foremost, you've heard the often repeated phrase, you can only be original once. That is very true. You can only be original once. Second reason is, as classic car investors continue to pour into the market, they're seeking that very elusive Survivor. And the third reason is, it's very expensive and time-consuming to restore a vehicle, a classic car vehicle. And often the results of the restored vehicle aren't as good as a well-preserved Survivor. Now, what is a Survivor? In the strictest sense, you need to have three categories present to be a Survivor. First and foremost, original paint, which by definition you'd have original body if you had original paint. Second, original interior. And third, the original driveline. All three categories have to be present for you to truly have a Survivor. Now, in that rarefied air of Survivor class that meets all three categories in the strictest sense of being a Survivor, the rarest class of vehicle would be what I have here today. What is it? Well, it's a four-wheel drive, dual-purpose vehicle. By design, four-wheel drive, dual-purpose vehicles were used rough. They were driven four-wheel drive applications, off-road, and they weren't well preserved. This vehicle, on the other hand, was owned by a preservation-minded owner who kept it in a garage, doted over it, and kept it like new since it was new. Original paint, original interior, original driveline. It is a true Survivor in a world in which there are virtually no survivors. Very impressive. We're going to take it for a test drive, and you'll learn more about it, and I think you'll love it. Okay, it's time for the test drive, and while we're on the test drive, I'll tell you some of the differences between this vehicle and its contemporaries back in the day when it was new. Significant differences. They were all called dual purpose, but there was a huge difference in the performance of this versus its competitors. I want to start it. Starts very easily. Very original presentation. Come along with me. Well, we're almost out of the neighborhood here, and it is hot today. I don't know what it is, but it is July in Texas, and of course we burn up in July and August, sometimes September. But by and large, the rest of the year is fantastic. And while it may be hot outside, it is not hot in here. My handy little thermometer here says it's coming out of the AC at below 50 degrees, so that's a good thing. And it is comfortable in here. Air conditioning is a wonderful invention. Well, take time to look at the paint on this vehicle and the bright work and the interior and the dash and even the carpet, the 44-year-old carpet. All of these things are a testimony to the well taken care of vehicle, and this certainly is a time capsule and well preserved in every critical category, and just impressive to look at. You know, I'm really impressed at how popular these vintage dual-purpose vehicles have gotten in the last few years. I personally have always liked them. I've always thought they're super cool, but somehow, for some reason, maybe it's the hipsters, I don't know, but they've gotten way more popular and more expensive and more valuable. And I can understand why. They're a lot of fun. They offer a lot of flexibility. And if you're considering one of these, say a Toyota FJ Cruiser or a Ford Bronco, or the Jimmy, like this one right here, or the Blazer, its sister vehicle, think about how you would use it, because there's a vast difference in the capability of these vehicles. They're all called and classified as dual purpose, but the truth of the matter is there's some limitations, and the limitations really substantially lie with the Ford Bronco and the FJ Cruiser. They're just not quite as much vehicle as the Blazer and the Jimmy is. The Blazer and the Jimmy are built off the platform of the C10 pickup truck. And so these are called K4s, this platform right here, but they're built from the C10 Chevrolet platform, and it was very easy for Chevrolet to upgrade and add options to an already established platform. So what's important about that, the dual purpose designation is, what that means is they're capable of going off-road. They can be used in an off-road rugged terrain, and they're also capable of being driven, on regular roads as a commuter or regular everyday transportation. Now, the difference lies in what the Jimmy and Blazer will do versus its contemporary competitors of the day, the FJ Cruiser and the Bronco, and that's highway traveling. These 350 V8s, of course, they're famous. That's the Hall of Fame motor that Chevrolet built, and they're just capable of highway travel with ease. You could load it up with people and sail down the interstate at 65, 70 miles per hour without a strain. And as a four-wheel drive vehicle goes, pretty good comfort for the time. Now, the Bronco and the FJ Cruiser are severely limited in that particular category. And when it comes to four-wheel off-road usage, I'm not sure which one would have the advantage, because I've actually never done any four-wheel off-road usage. And neither has this vehicle. It's capable of it, and I suppose that anybody that owned it could use it however they wanted to, but this one's been preserved so well, I just can't imagine it ever being in a really dangerous situation, although it certainly is capable of going off-road and providing some incredible scenic experiences. I love this color. This is a period color. It's called ochre, and I love the saddle interior, which is the Cheyenne Deluxe package. The Cheyenne package, that designation was used both in the Jimmy and the Blazer, and that's my favorite. I just love the pattern. I love the what looks like a cowboy pattern in it. I think it's just so cool. People relate to these trucks, the 71s and 72s. It is considered the high mark year, the high watermark year for Chevrolet pickup trucks. It's kind of the first modern vintage truck that was performed like a modern truck, and the K4s were the same thing. They performed much like a modern vehicle, an early modern vehicle would. Very drivable. Well, that's it for the test drive. I hope you enjoyed it, and please come back.